Okay, I thought we would spend a little time on the inside of the organ because people do find that interesting. First, we have an original serial number plate, which is a very important part on any organ that you'd buy, that it would be historically accurate. This is B3 number 95778 from the Hammond factory. And during the period in which this was built, mid-60s, these capacitors were changed from a paper-covered mylar capacitor to being a maroon-colored plastic color capacitor. Now this is called the line box, and that affects your vibrato sounds. Under this green felt, we will also find a newer style capacitor, and that is what gives this organ its extremely brilliant sound. And it was unique starting in around 1965 that these capacitors right here, can you focus in on that, Rodney? Would be plastic covered mylar, very similar to what you're seeing here in color, but on the generator they're a bit larger. So this is the reason that this organ is much more brilliant and tends to scream in the higher registers than an older B3 would be able to do. This unit here is the Hammond preamp, and it has 8 vacuum tubes that are easy to find when you know where to look. 6X4, 12BH7, pair of 6C4s, a 12AU7. These 3 are only related to the percussion. These 3 are related to vibrato mainly. These 2 especially, and this one is overall audio. But these 2 tubes here are basically the only 2 tubes that could shut the whole organ down if they went bad. That only happens about once every 40 years. So it's not a bad idea to have a spare of these 2, because if the whole organ shut down, you'd have a spare and you could just pop it in. Be good for another 40 years. There's nothing in my experience that's any more reliable than a Hammond organ. This group of wires here is for the preset panel, and there are actually written instructions for you to be able to change these wires around and get different sounds on your presets. So that's not what you'd call brand new technology. That's technology from 1935, but it's there. You can use it if you want. And the heart of the organ is right here. It runs the full length of the organ from here down to here. And it is called the Hammond tone wheel generator. Inside that assembly there are 91 little wheels spinning around. Depending on the number of teeth on those wheels, that determines the pitch. It's a marvelous, marvelous instrument. At this end of the organ is the start motor, and this motor here is the run motor. And there's a little cup right here on top of the run motor with some felt in it. That should receive 10 drops of oil once a year. Then you will also see 2 cups on the tone generator itself. And each of those cups should have 10 drops of oil. Hammond organ only, Hammond organ oil only should be inserted into the organ once a year. So for a total of 30 drops. Now you can take a WD-40 and spray under each tube socket, pull the tube out about 1/3 of the way, spritz a little WD-40 in there as quick as you can take your finger off. And what that does is it cleans the tube sockets and eliminates things like static and crackling sounds that could occur from tube socket oxidation. So that's a little tip for maintenance. The most important thing is to oil the organ once a year, and you can use WD-40 on the tubes, top tube sockets and also the tubes in the Leslie. Let's go around the front of the organ and go over the various features on the front of the organ. Okay, you have this locking wooden top, which is great. There's a few little scratches in here that will never be seen by the audience. Maybe somebody put a keyboard or something up there at one time. As I said, we're going to put a different music rack on there for you. The technical finish of the organ, the keys, the drawbars, the metal between the front rails, all of these things are in absolutely beautiful condition. These are the presets, and if you were to change the wires in the back of the organ, you could make these presets have a different sound. It would make the keyboard have a different sound. This preset is an off-on switch that corresponds to this group of drawbars here, and this preset corresponds to this group of drawbars, and a similar arrangement on the lower manual. The percussion tabs are over here. Percussion works only on the upper manual and only with the use of the B preset. We've installed a brand new start switch on this organ because that's one of the parts that wears out before anything else, along with up felts and pedal felts. The Leslie speaker is a model 122. It's a close but not exact wood match. These Leslie speakers were made in a completely different factory than the organs themselves. So it's a bit of a challenge to get an exact match of the wood, but I think on stage it would be so close in color that no one would even notice, especially if it's a few feet away from the organ. Generally, an organist is going to want the Leslie to be about 5 to 10 feet away from the organ. That's what I would generally recommend. And if it's going to be farther than 15 feet away, then we would recommend that a monitor be used for the benefit of the organist. So I hope this brief demonstration and overview is sufficient. It's, as mentioned on our website, one of the nicest sounding organs that we have had here in a very long time. That's directly related to the year that it was made and the condition that it is in. And the Leslie speaker is also in beautiful condition. Every note on every drawbar works correctly, as it should, and I think that just about covers it. We're going to do some detailing on the organ before we ship it, including putting a new coat of lacquer on the bench top to clean it up and cleaning up the bass pedals, and doing a nice polishing so that when it arrives it'll be ready to put on your stage. My name is Jim Huss. I'm speaking with you from the showroom here at Keyboard Exchange International. Thank you for your time and attention and this opportunity to possibly earn your business. God bless, and we thank you very much.